RC people. We're back again with the base camp. We're in the secondary garage here for the summer. Got a little bit more room. I can do a little bit more stuff out here a little bit easier. And most of my tools are out here, so that works out. So today's mission, the base camp. We've done mods to it to improve it. We've replaced the electronics and tires and wheels and added a winch and have driven it. This thing has had several batteries through it now and it's performed great. But it's time to start making it not look like this anymore. So what are some of the things we can do to this that are easy to do, cheap, and will dramatically change the look of the truck? One of them would be these windows. So we're going to clear the windows today. I'm going to clear the windshield, I should say. I will cut this window out completely. And this one, I'll have to decide on whether I want to clear it or leave it a sticker. We'll get to that point when we get there. Add a little bit of color. Like maybe tape this area off and make this section of the hood black, and maybe down through here, a few things like that. Do the panel lines. I've got a new bumper that's going to be coming for it, and that should help out quite a bit. We're probably going to trim the back bumper some more. And I have my box of accessories. Everybody needs one of these. This is the box I throw everything in that comes with anything. So it may become, another project later. So there's a little bit of everything in here, and I will get some accessories going on it for sure. But let me start working on this, and I will take you along the process. So the first thing I want to do is clear my windshield. And I want to be able to leave this trim around it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scalpel, and you got to have pretty steady hands, but you can go right down the outline of this. And let me come across this way. Now you're wanting to press hard enough to get through the sticker, but you're going to try not to cut that Lexan underneath. And then when you get where you're wanting to start peeling away, you got to pluck at it to get it going. I do not have fingernails very much, so it makes it a little more difficult, but you just peel away. You have to keep grabbing and plucking, but you'll eventually get it. There we go. So now this is coming off. And you can see the gray underneath. We'll get to that next. I'm going to finish cutting this, and then I'll get back with you to the inside. Okay, so I have removed the sticker completely. And I give it a quick wipe down with some of this 91% alcohol. What I've done now is I've gotten a bowl, I've put some water in it, and just a little tiny bit, like literally one tiny drop of dish soap. And I've got a 1000 grit 3M sandpaper, but any 1000 grit will work. I just like the 3M because it's automotive grade, and I know it's meant for wet sanding. So what you want to do is get in here and just start wet sanding. And this is going to take some time because 1000 grit's pretty fine. It takes a good bit of time to get down there, but if you just keep going, you will eventually start removing this paint. You can see it already starting to collect on the sandpaper. And keep washing it off and going. And this is going to take a while, so I am going to back out of here. And when I get closer to the next step, I will turn the camera back on. But the one thing I will say, in case you decide just to hop in there and start doing this, take your time because you're not going to want to sand through to the clear very much. That's what the next step's for. Okay, you can see we are starting to see some light through there now. I've removed pretty much all of the white layers, still a little bit left of the backer, and I've started working my way through the gray. Now as you get to like here where you can see through it already, when you get to an area like that, move on to another area, because any of the scratches that you put in this clear, you're going to have to get back out. So you want to sand on the clear as little as possible. Just keep moving on and concentrate on the areas that need it the most. Wipe your area off, look at it and see what you're doing. Take your time and you'll get it all. I've finished the sanding process, and you can see it's kind of foggy There's still little patches of paint here and there, no big deal, because as soon as I get to where I'm starting to break through on clear, I move on, because even though it is 1000 grit, it is still scratching this plastic. And in order to make that transparent instead of translucent, we're going to have to do something about that. So what I'm going to be using is, this is for polishing your headlights, your plastic headlight covers when they start getting all foggy. And what it is a really fine polishing compound. Now you can do this with any fine polishing compound, but this is specifically for plastic, and I just like to use it. I've used it on several before. And you want to smear that around, get it rubbed in. And there's several ways you can go about doing this. You can buff it by hand if this is all you have. You can get a buffing pad for your Dremel tool, or I like to use my cordless drill if it's a windshield. And it takes a couple applications of this, but you can get it pretty clear. And depending on how much time you want to put into it, it's how clear you're going to get it. Oh, it's already starting to clear up considerably. So I'm going to go over this some more and really get this thing cleared up, and I'll get back with you. That's after hitting it twice with the buffing pad. And you can see it's getting pretty clear. You can see old Frank Castle hanging out inside there. I'm going to do all the rest of the windows, and this should look pretty good. Well, there we are. Windshield's cleared. Side windows are cleared. Windows are cut out. I did this on both sides. I like my windows cut out. That way if I want to put a driver figure in there. The next thing I'm going to do is use our nice selection of tape off here and here, and then I'll have to tape off the rest of the vehicle, and I'm just going to paint the hood black on top. If you are really wanting to paint underneath like the rest of it, you can feel free to sand that down and do it, but I'm just going to spray right on top a couple of coats, and that'll also dry kind of a flat, because this paint is flat naturally that goes on your Lexion. Now that'll help give it a little bit of a matte finish. And you do just a little tiny bit more buffing on the windows. They look pretty good. There's still a little bit of a haze, but it's not too bad. So that's already looking much better. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is we have our good old fine tip Sharpie. And these are super fine tip. Now I'm going to take that, and if you look on almost every body, you've got a spot where the panel lines have been indented. So if you're very careful, you can follow that with this Sharpie and put the panel lines in. So I'm going to put the panel lines in next. Alright, so I'm back with you. And the panel lines are done. They came out pretty decent. I put the one here for the bed separation as well. I really like this black on the front. That's looking pretty good. So, I don't know if you've noticed, the front bumper's different. Here's a stock bumper, and it's the normal trade-off you have with crawling, functionality versus looks. So a lot of times when you want something that looks good, it doesn't always function as well as you would need, but I think this is going to be all right. It does stick out just a tiny bit further forward than my other bumper, but that's going to be fine for me, because what I did lose by that, I gained an approach angles from the side. You see how much wider this bumper is? I can actually, if it sticks out a little far in the front, I'm okay, because I come at stuff at an angle most of the time and pull myself up on it anyway. But where this is actually going to be very functional for me is it moved. You can see why that was on. My winch was coming down at an angle when it came out, and it was causing bind issues. They weren't horrible, but it was enough to be an annoyance to me. So this brought it up to where it is more directly in line with my winch. So that's a plus to me. So I put that on there, and this bumper, it's a really nice bumper. Everything mounted exactly where it was supposed to go with no issues. $21 off of Amazon. I'll leave a link for it if you guys want one. It's full aluminum. I think it's made by Hot Storm. First time I've used this company. But I like the approach angle skid plate on this one too. It's got a really nice bump up. So I'm gonna like that quite a bit. The next thing I'm gonna get to doing is I'm gonna start adding some of my accessories. And once I get those added on there, we'll be about wrapped up. I'm also, real quick before we do that, the rear bumper, I still have adjustment in it. So I'm going to take it loose and slide it in all the way, and then take a Dremel tool and cut this back a little bit, so I got a little bit more room back here. Awesome. So here we are out in the sunlight. I think it is turning out to look pretty daggone good. Little stickers in the back. Now I got that Adventure Time RC license plate. You know that's going to add some extra crawlability. Put that sticker there on. Of course, that one's pretty funny. And you can see how much more the bumper went in after I adjusted it, and then cut a good bit of it off. Some stickers on the windows, the panel lines, the hood painted black, the new bumper. These little vent looking stickers here, I threw them on just for the heck of it. These accessories in the back. I took this pallet and I wanted to put the pallet in there, but it looked funny because it was raised up and it shouldn't be sitting up above the bed. So I split it in half, glued that down, and then I made some of these accessories myself. And got the toolbox going on. I put these side rails on, and I think it's looking way better. What do you think, moving around the course? Well, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you found some helpful tips in all of this, and hope this will help you transform your base camp a little bit, clear up the windows. I'm probably going to be adding a driver and some more stuff as I go later on down the road, but for now, this will get me going and looking a lot better than it did when it came out of the box. Thanks for watching. Smash that like on the way out. It really helps me, and have a great day.